Why can't you offend Cancer? Cancer is a sign that radiates care, tenderness, and affection. These people are like ancient shells, which contain not only softness, but also resilience, the ability to survive storms. Cancer is not just a zodiac sign, it is a symbol of motherhood, love, and deep emotional experiences. But, like a shell, a Cancer can shut itself off from the outside world if it is offended, and then it can become very difficult to regain lost relationships. Why can't you offend crayfish? This is a question that should be analyzed in order to understand the inner vulnerability of this sign, its need for care and respect. Cancer as a symbol of family values. Cancer is a sign that strives for stability and security. His world is his family, his home, his loved ones. These people are deeply attached to home, to a place where they feel safe, where they can be themselves, where they are loved and supported. Family ties for Cancers are not just a habit, it is the basis of their existence. If you look at a person born under the sign of Cancer, you will see his emotional attachment to his loved ones and a desire to maintain a comfortable atmosphere around him. These are people who are ready to take care of others, give their love and warmth, expecting nothing in return except mutual respect and gratitude. And here lies one of the most vulnerable sides of Cancers. They give themselves completely, and if they are offended or betrayed, it becomes a real tragedy for them. The sensitivity of Cancers. Cancers are people who are extremely sensitive. And although they don't always show their emotions openly, that doesn't mean their feelings aren't vulnerable. Cancer may seem calm and restrained, but behind this outer shell, there is a whole storm of emotions. Every gesture, every word, every glance cast in their direction can be perceived as a personal insult. They are so sensitive that even a small injustice can cause them deep resentment. Sometimes they may not immediately express their pain, but everything is boiling inside, and this can create internal tension that is difficult to contain. Cancer will try to restrain its feelings, but if its resentment lingers, it becomes like a hidden wound that penetrates deeper into the soul. And if this wound does not heal, Cancer can withdraw into itself and stop sharing its feelings with others. This kind of silence may be perceived by others as ignoring or disinterested, but it's actually Cancer's way of protecting itself from pain, the desire for care and protection. One of the main features of Cancers is their desire to protect those they love. These people are natural defenders. They are always ready to support, help, and give their care. But if someone decides to offend them or betray their trust, it can be a severe blow to Cancers. Their self-esteem and inner peace are closely related to how they are perceived by others. It is important for Cancers to feel appreciated and respected. When this balance is disrupted, they may feel cheated or abandoned. This leads to the fact that Cancer begins to distance itself from the one who offended it. He will gradually close himself in his cancerous shell, avoid communication, and think about how to restore his inner harmony. And if the person who caused the pain does not realize his mistake and does not make efforts to regain trust, Cancer can permanently stop communicating with him. Cancer and its emotional experiences. Resentment for Cancer is not just an emotion, it's a whole inner storm. They cannot easily forget when they are betrayed or when someone treats them cruelly. Cancer perceives this as a violation of their world, their space, their inner peace. These people tend to keep even the smallest grievances in their memory, especially if they relate to personal relationships. It is important to note that Cancer does not take offense over trifles. He gets offended when he feels that he has been betrayed, deceived, or his efforts have not been appreciated. These emotional experiences often turn into long thoughts about what happened. And if the cancer feels that it has not been properly responded to, it can lock itself in for a long time. Sometimes even the closest people may not immediately understand what cancer is going through, because he rarely brings his feelings to the show. He may not show his pain, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. In fact, this pain can be so intense that it will leave a mark on his whole life. The silence of the crayfish. One of the features of cancers is their tacit attitude to insults. Instead of openly expressing their pain or grievances, Cancer may choose to remain silent. This silence is not a sign that the resentment is gone, but rather a way of protection. Cancer is not always ready to openly show their emotions. They prefer to keep them inside, hiding their real feelings from others. When a Cancer is silent, it means that he feels offended, but cannot or does not want to talk about it. He expects the person who offended him to understand what his mistake was and apologize accordingly. But if this doesn't happen, Cancer may decide that the relationship is no longer worth continuing. He may simply distance himself and not resume communication, believing that the destruction of trust is irreparable. How resentment affects a relationship with Cancer. Cancer's resentment is not something that can be easily forgotten. Even if the person who offended him apologizes, it can be extremely difficult to restore trust. Cancer can forgive, but it won't forget, and even if everything seems normal on the outside, Cancer will still have doubts inside that he may be offended again. This constant tension can cause Cancer to avoid this person in order not to repeat painful experiences. In addition, when a Cancer feels that it has been offended, its behavior may become more closed, and it will avoid communication. He may start avoiding the person who hurt him, and sometimes even stop communicating completely. In this case, it's not just a grudge, it's a defensive reaction designed to preserve his inner peace. Why Cancer should not be offended. The consequences for you. When a Cancer is offended, it's not just an emotional reaction. This can lead to profound changes in his relationships with others. He may stop trusting, be more careful and wary in the future. For a person who has offended Cancer, this can result in the loss of a close relationship and even a break in communication for a long time. The more the person who caused the pain does not understand his guilt and does not try to fix the situation, the more difficult it will be to restore a relationship with Cancer. He may continue to remain in his life, but he will no longer be the same person he was before the insult. This distance will be maintained, and it is possible that the Cancer will never fully open as it was before. How not to offend the crayfish. In order not to be among those who offend Cancer, it is necessary to remember several important points. Be sincere and open. Cancer values sincerity. If you have any complaints, speak about them honestly, but do it tactfully and with respect. Lying or hypocrisy can really hurt his feelings. Appreciate his efforts. Cancer is a person who often sacrifices his time and efforts for the sake of his loved ones. Don't take his concern for granted. Gratitude is an important part of a relationship with Cancer. Don't change your commitments. Cancer does not forgive those who do not keep their words. If you promise something to Cancer, be sure to do it. Breaking promises is one of the main reasons for his resentment. Respect his personal boundaries. Cancer values its home and its space. Do not violate these boundaries. Do not invade his personal life if he is not ready to open up. Take care of his feelings. Even if you didn't notice that you said or did something unpleasant, Cancer can survive it inside for a long time. Be attentive to his mood. Show care and sensitivity. Cancers are people who open their hearts to those who are able to appreciate and understand them. They are sincerely devoted to those they love, but they can easily be hurt if they are betrayed or not appreciated. Cancer's resentment is not just an emotional reaction, it is a deep mental pain that can change his attitude towards you forever. To maintain a good relationship with this sign, it is important to show respect, honesty, and care. If you've offended Cancer, don't expect everything to go back to normal. This wound will not heal quickly, and it will be very difficult to restore trust. The best thing is not to hurt Cancer, because the consequences for you can be much more painful than you think.